Hello, I'm Mrs. Paccione. I'm your child's math teacher at Wayne Valley this year. And as you're well aware, Wayne Valley in school looks different than the past 18 years that I've been teaching here. First thing I'd like to do is give you my contact information. So that's my email address. That is by far the best way to reach me. So you can email me anytime with questions, concerns, or for additional updates. And this year I am teaching 6 courses right now. If your child's in my Algebra 1 Period 7 class, I do teach that on my own. If your child is in my Period 1 Algebra 1 class, I co-teach that with Ms. Hayes. I'm currently covering for Ms. Schaefer for Pre-Calculus General until her expected return in late November. I teach 2 sections of Pre-Calculus Enriched, and I also teach the Unified 4 Honors. If your child is in Pre-Calculus General, they should have this textbook at home. I hope you've seen it. We haven't started using it too much, but they're going to keep that home the whole year. If your child is in Pre-Calculus Enriched or the Unified class, this is their textbook for this year. Not the teacher's edition, but a student edition. And if your child's in Algebra 1, they don't have a physical copy of the textbook because it's digital. So anytime we use the textbook, they'll be going on their Chromebook to access that. The next thing I like to do is show you how I organize the Google Classroom page for the students. So I know this may not be your child's class, but I organize it the same way for all my classes. At the top is the link for the student help desk. So if they're having any difficulties with their Chromebook or the programs or websites that we're using, they should fill out this form. Then is my link for office hours. For office hours, they need to email me first and set up an appointment. And then we'll schedule a time to meet in the Google Meet. And we can go over any questions that they have on the content, or if they've been absent and they're not sure what they owe, that's a good place to do that in the office hours. Now, just to clarify, the office hours take place on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, between 1 and 2:30. That time is also time for me to do planning, collaborate with my colleagues, attend meetings, and also do parent contact. So when the student emails me, we'll set up an appointment for some time during that block. Also, just to clarify, I can't guarantee that the office hours are going to be 1-to-1. Just like extra help when we do that in a regular school year. Sometimes I have students in from different classes, and I help one student, give them something to try, then I help the next student, give them something to try, and so on. So that's how the office hours are set up this year. Office hours can also be available Wednesday mornings, but I'm assuming most of your students would prefer the afternoon instead of before school on Wednesdays. As you look at the Google Classroom, the way I've organized it for each of my classes, I have the link for student help desk, the link for office hours, and then every week I'm going to open up a new topic with the dates. And everything I post will have the date on it so that they can easily look up what they owe for homework, or if they've been absent, they can look up what they need to make up. After the current week is general information and resources. And then all the past weeks I drop down and put down here. So they're still there, but since the students probably won't be accessing the past weeks as often, I just drop those down to the bottom. I just keep the current week up top and then the general information and resources. Now, on back to school night, the most common question I get from parents is, what can I do to help my child succeed this year in math? Well, again, it looks different this year. So I have 3 suggestions for what you can do to help your child succeed in the math course this year. The first thing is your student needs to check their school email on a regular basis. It's something they're not used to doing, to be honest. So to help them with that, if you go to their Google Classroom page, I showed them this on the first day of school. If you go to the course information that every class of mine has, in that document, there is a link to a 2-minute video on how to set up tags for your emails. Right there is that link. So I encouraged, and I still encourage all of the students to take the 2 minutes to watch that video and then take the additional maybe 5 minutes. And what they can do is they can set it up so that every time a teacher emails them, it shows up with a bright colored tag or marker next to it so that the students don't miss those emails, those individual emails from the teachers. The second thing that is unique to this year that I could use your help with at home is to make sure that your child is taking notes in their classes. So sometimes in class we do live lessons, so they should take notes. And sometimes I give video lessons for them to watch on their own. They should also be taking notes during that. When we're in school, I can easily take a lap around the classroom and very quickly make sure everyone's taking notes and even see the quality of those notes. But I just can't do that with the format that we have this year. Every once in a while, I'm going to ask them to upload their notes and send them to me. But I think you can understand that I can't do that 4 times a week for my well over 100 students. So I would ask you and encourage you as the parents to just check in with your children maybe once a week, ask them to take a peek at their notes for the math class to make sure that's happening. And the third recommendation for this year that's kind of unique to this year is to be very careful and to have your child avoid the use of an app called PhotoMath. PhotoMath is an app on their phone, and it's actually pretty amazing. It can solve almost any math problem all the way through calculus. And it's just by taking a photo of the math problem. So it can be a useful tool for helping check when a student has trouble, but I think you can see how it would be tempting to misuse the device. So my suggestion is for the student not to use PhotoMath at all. If they're not sure about a problem, then they should ask questions in class. I would love to help them with it. And if they have not been able to answer their question, or if they want to ask further questions in office hours, then let's do that. That's a better way to get the questions answered, I think, than using the PhotoMath. Because the goal for this year is to succeed not only in this course, but also to succeed in our future math courses in high school or college and the SATs and ACTs. And also to develop those other skills that are not math skills. The skill of knowing what you know and what you don't know. The skill of starting to understand that they're still developing these skills, like to understand when they should ask a question. So, and to have the confidence to ask that question instead of going to that app on their phone. So I'm hoping that you will support me and support your child by asking them about that app and making sure they don't have it on their phone, or if they have it on their phone, to make sure it's used very, very limited use. And it's not allowed on assessments I think for obvious reasons. So I think it would be best not to have that. So those are my 3 pieces of advice if you could support us in the classroom in that way. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. And once again, please contact me. Email's the best way anytime you have questions or concerns, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hoping to have a great year with your students. Thank you. Bye-bye.